welcome. My name is Beverly Starr, and I am the Client Service Representative, Trainer and Education Associate at NorthStar VETS, a very busy specialty emergency trauma hospital in the middle of New Jersey. And I am presenting Dealing with Difficult People, the top 10 de-escalation tips and techniques. So over the past year, we've seen an increase in the number of disgruntled, angry, and abusive behavior from clients. I know we're not alone in this. And to begin with, it's important to understand that no single response or technique that we go over tonight will work in all of these situations. Your personal response to defensive behavior is often the key to avoiding a physical confrontation with someone who has lost control of their own behavior. And we all have different personal vulnerabilities, some of which are visible and some of which are not. Our reaction to challenging situations are rooted in our life experiences, individual identities, and the immediate condition of our surroundings. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what is de-escalation? And de-escalation means transferring your sense of calm and genuine interest in what the client wants to tell you by using respectful, clear, and limit-setting boundaries. It is a balancing act, as it is important for us to stay grounded and confident in our own abilities as client service representatives. There is nothing worse than allowing an escalating person to push and push until we lose our patience and tempers and we scream back at them. Once that happens, all control is lost, and the situation can quickly become dangerous and volatile. I would like you to reflect for a moment on your own personal relationship to danger. How do you react to trouble? Do you fight? Do you flight? Do you run away from it, or do you freeze? And then what are 3 things that you can think of to help you center yourself in preparation for an escalation confrontation? The one thing that I do want to stress is if at any time a client threatens harm or you feel unsafe, alert your manager and call 911 ASAP. So there are a few steps that you may need to take prior to alerting somebody or meeting somebody in a de-escalation scenario. And the first step is, I want you to assess the situation. And then take a deep, calming breath. And remember, how do you respond to trouble? Mentally prepare yourself. It's not personal. Please don't ever take it as a personal attack on you. It's not personal, even if it feels that way. Are there certain scenarios where you know you're not the best at? Be sure to alert your superiors as to what's going on, making sure to address your reluctance to get involved. If it helps, ask them to sit in on the conversation in case they need to become involved. But unfortunately, there may be times when you have no choice but to tackle a situation head on. And now we're going to see what our tips are. Tip number 1, be emphatic and non-judgmental. When someone says or does something that you perceive as weird or irrational, don't judge it. Don't discount what they're going through. Whether or not you think those feelings are justified, they're real to that person. Pay attention to them. This is not the moment to convince others that they are right or wrong. This is when we must be prepared to actively listen and reflect back to what we're hearing from the client. Keep in mind that whatever the angry person is going through, to them, it may be the most important thing in their life at that moment. And it may have nothing to do with Fluffy being ill. It may be an argument that they got into with their significant other an hour before having to bring Fluffy to the emergency room. Tip number 2, Respect personal space. If possible, stand 1.5 to 3 feet away from a person who is escalating. Allowing personal space tends to decrease a person's anxiety, and they can help you prevent acting out behavior. Never touch people you've never met, even if you know them. Ask them for consent or keep your hands at your side. So if you must enter a person's personal space, like if you want to guide them to a quiet place or a private place to talk, explain your actions to them so the person feels less confused and reactive. Tip number 3, use non-threatening nonverbals. The more a person loses control, the less they hear your words and the more they react to your nonverbal communication. Be mindful of your gestures, your facial expressions, your movements, and your tone of voice. Keeping a neutral face is harder for the escalating person to engage with. Keep your expression not overly friendly, but not hostile either. Also, pay attention to the client's nonverbal cues. When you talk, does their body stiffen or does it relax? Are they looking at you directly in the eye? Are they leaning towards you or away? Are they clenching their jaw? If the client's body language indicates that they're not listening, you may need to change up your approach. Avoid overreacting. Remain calm, rational, and professional. While you can't control the person's behavior, how you respond to the behavior will have a direct effect on whether the situation escalates or diffuses. Talk low and slow, using simple, short phrases. Never yell or scream at them, and use gentle and firm tones. And if you have the ability to, positive thoughts like, I can handle this, and I know what to do, will help you maintain your own rationality and calm the person down. Tip number 5, focus on feelings. Facts are important, but how a person feels is the heart of the matter. Some people have trouble identifying how they feel about what's happening to them. Allow them the opportunity to explore those feelings rather than festering until they explode. Offer them the opportunity to air their feelings. Allow them to vent by saying something along the lines of, that must have been so scary to not know what's going on with Fluffy. Tell me exactly what happened. Supportive phrases like this will let the person know that you understand, and it may elicit a positive response. Tip number 6, ignore challenging questions. Answering challenging questions often results in power struggles. When a person challenges your authority, redirect their attention to the issue at hand. So for instance, the client was, why was that other receptionist such a... Ignore it. Just redirect them. Please tell me again what prompted you to bring Fluffy in to see us today? Ignore the challenge, but not the person. Bring the focus back to how you can work together to solve their problem. Tip number 7, set boundaries. If a person's behavior is belligerent, defensive, or disruptive, give them clear, simple, and enforceable limits. Offer concise and respectful choices and consequences. It's important for you to remain calm in order for us to talk. If you continue to scream or act disrespectful, I will insist that you leave and seek care elsewhere. If you continue to spew profanities at me, sir or madam, you will force me to phone the police, and I really don't want to do that. A person who's upset may not be able to focus on everything that you say. So be clear, speak simply, and offer the positive choice first. Tip number 8, choose wisely what you insist upon. It's important to be thoughtful in deciding which rules are negotiable and which ones are not. If you can offer options and flexibility, you may be able to avoid unnecessary altercations. Try to explain exactly why you've set the boundary that you have. I understand that you are upset, that you're angry. However, it's never okay to be rude or yell at me or my staff. It will not be tolerated. And as I said, you will be asked to leave if it happens again or continues. Tip number 9, Allow silence for reflection. We've all experienced awkward silences. And while it may seem counterintuitive to let moments of silence occur, sometimes it's the best choice. It can give a person the chance to reflect on their own behavior and their actions and what is expected of them in order for the conversation to proceed. So believe it or not, silence can be a powerful, powerful communication tool. Tip number 7, allow time for decisions. So when a person is upset, they may not be able to think clearly. Give them a few moments to think through what you've said. I've shared a lot of information with you. I'll come back in 10 minutes after you've had some time to think about it, and we can discuss possible resolutions to this issue in more detail. A person's stress level rises when they feel rushed. Allowing them time will allow them to feel calm. So in the aftermath, in the resolution after an escalation event, the clients should be encouraged to explore the options to meet their unmet needs and to address their issues. Staff should encourage clients to maintain ownership, but offer appropriate support and advice such as, what can we do to resolve this? What can we do to make you happy? All options should be considered. There is rarely a single way of reaching a solution, but it is essential to not promise unachievable solutions. Do not promise them a full refund, knowing full well that is not within your scope of being able to approve. Adults are generally used to being able to make decisions for themselves, and offering them a range of options enables them to solve the problem or at least reduce their feelings of anger. It is also important to commit a time frame for dealing with the cause of the anger, but it is essential not to promise unattainable options. You can let them know, okay, I need a few days in order to research this. I need a few days to discuss what happened with everyone who's involved. I promise to contact you within the next 3 to 5 days and let you know what my discovery found and how we can move forward. In the aftermath of a de-escalation event, it can affect you on a personal level. It can basically ruin your whole entire day. And it's always helpful to have a debriefing or a few moments to decompress after the client has left the building. This is very important. After a period of time, we can use whatever we've experienced to increase the collection of experiences across the board, whether it's done with colleagues or individually. A structured reflection session is useful and can be used as a training tool for the future. So I want you to consider the following questions after you have an escalation event. What happened? You should think about who was involved, what was happening before, and consider if there were any triggers that could be avoided in the future. How did you feel at the time? We should explore how we felt. Were we nervous? Were we scared? Did the adrenaline kick in? Or did we feel a sense of calm and control? What helped or hindered the conversation with the angry individual? And what advice could you offer to a newly employed colleague in a similar situation? And here are some key takeaway points from today's presentation that I would like you to reflect upon. It's no longer a matter of if, but unfortunately when employees will have to deal with an anger event, and they will feel unprepared or isolated from their coworkers. Unfortunately, sometimes when this happens, there is a definite need for strategies to help staff address anger and diffuse situations before any escalation into violence. And please, please, please remember, if at any time you feel the safety of you and your coworkers or the people in your waiting room are at risk, dial 911. All employees need to maintain a sense of calm and control when dealing with anger in others. You are not helping matters if you get into a screaming match with a client. So never, ever do that. Staff involved with dealing with an angry client or clients, they need time and support to debrief afterwards. And employees should reflect on what the engagement has taught them about dealing with angers in others. It would be beneficial to share that information among their coworkers as a training tool. Thank you. If you have any questions, my email address is on the last slide, and please feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you. Have a great day.